Solo Leveling, a manhwa that single-handedly boosted the popularity of Korean comics. It goes without saying that it is the nemesis of mangas. Today let's check out manhwas as good as Solo Leveling. Our first recommendation is Returned as a Martial Genius. This one is quite amazing, though it is a new manhwa with 20+ chapters. It made it on our list because it took us out of the traditional Miram world. When monster gates appeared on Earth, each continent was asked to choose its theme, and Korea and the rest of Asia chose the Miram theme. This sounds a bit like Eternal Kingdom's setting. Anyway, our main character, who did not inherit the martial art technique of his family, was expelled from his clan and could only become a lowly D-rank hunter. He later dies in action but gets a second chance when he regresses. He decided to change his previous path and got an SSS class technique. The MC of this manhwa was quite pitiful, like in Solo Leveling. Even when he became overpowered, he was still similar to Sung Jin-woo. This manhwa has the potential to be big. The storyline will hook you, coupled with the amazing artwork. Next, we have Revenge of the Iron-Blooded Sword Hound. This manhwa revolves around our main character Vikir. He was a cruel and loyal dog to the Baskerville family. He did every dirty job you could think of just to get the recognition of the family. However, he was betrayed by the family and shamefully executed in public. Fortunately for him, he got a chance and regressed to when he was still a baby. With his previous knowledge, he is dead set to monopolize every resource and get his revenge on the family head, who also happens to be his biological father. This is an incredible manhwa with intense scenes, and the artwork is also excellent. Though the main character's situation is a bit different from Solo Leveling, it is undeniable that it is as good as Solo Leveling. So, do check it out. Coming next we have Reaper of the Drifting Moon. If you are a fan of Legend of the Northern Blade like me, then this is definitely for you. In this manhwa, our MC, who is an orphan and struggling to survive in a cruel world filled with martial artists, was kidnapped overnight by a group of assassins. He was then thrown into a dark pit where he couldn't see anything. From then on, it became a horrible struggle to survive, but thankfully, he endured it all and became an assassin. But he soon found out that he was not the only one that was captured, and that there were many other kids like him, and this is how the higher-ups of the assassin organization used them to complete tasks given to them by big clans. This is a hot revenge manhwa like Legend of the Northern Blade, with a fiery pace like Solo Leveling. It has incredible character development and great artwork that complements it. Coming next we have Dae Sung Returned from Hell. In this manhwa, our main character was pulled into hell on his graduation day. In this place, he is forced to eat raw meat and fight for his survival. Thus he began leaving the barbaric life in hell, endlessly fighting and killing demonic monsters in order to find his way home. Luckily, he also got a system that helped him greatly in conquering hell. After 75 years in hell, he became overpowered and fought the demon god, after which he returned back on Earth. However, his body on Earth was in bad shape in the suspense animation, and the planet has changed too. Now, Earth is full of dungeons and monsters, and his family is in huge debt because of his hospital bills. With his experience in hell in the system, he decided to create a better life for his mom and sister, while completing system tasks to get his powers back. This manhwa is awesome and has a good storyline, though the MC mostly exhibits fiendish characteristics, probably because he ate a lot of demons in hell. Next we have Martial God Regressed to Level 2. The BattleNet game, which was seen as just another game, turned into humanity's nightmare. After the release of the Space League, the game turned into a survival game for all organisms in the universe, and mankind represented by Earth kept failing until it was deemed worthless. Upon this decision, humanity was deleted from existence, but our MC was the only one not deleted. This was because his skill Nameless Divine Art resisted deletion. The gods then saw potential in him and sent him back into the past with his memories intact. Now he is determined not to let Korea be wiped out and prevent the miserable death of his niece, because the days after the deletion of Korea were like hell. Though he was ranked 7th in the world, he was mistreated by the country he moved in. This manhwa is incredible, with a fast-paced story without leaving out any important information. The artwork is also incredible, so do check it out as it already has 24+ chapters. Next, we have Leveling Up with the Gods. In this manhwa, our MC was an earthling who managed to climb the highest floor of the Tower of Trial and join mythological gods to fight the invading outer gods. In the final battle, they were defeated as the outer gods were too powerful. Therefore, they decided to send our MC back in time to prepare for a rematch. They did so since he was only a mortal, yet grew strong to be able to stand side by side with gods. Now, he is back to when Earth was nearly destroyed by the arrival of the Tower of Trial. And of course, this is the opportunity to solve some grievances of the past life. Haha, I won't say much, as this manhwa is really incredible, and the MC is quite likable and mysterious. The artwork is off the chart and complements the storyline well. The next recommendation is The Sword Master's Youngest Son. In this manhwa, our MC despaired as he lived under the shadow of his siblings, and soon enough, he was exiled from his family because of his trashy talent. His family is known as a swordsman family. However, even though he worked harder than anybody in his family, he couldn't be half as good as the gateman. Wishing to prove himself, he practices the art of magic under contract with the god of his ancestors. Sadly, it was still too late to prevent his death and that of his family. Fortunately for him, when he opens his eyes, he realizes he has returned to the past when he was still a 1-year-old child. Now, with the knowledge of his past life, he vowed to preserve his talent in swordsmanship and become the greatest sword master in history. This manhwa is a masterpiece that will keep you glued from panel to panel and chapter to chapter. The MC is quite a likable fellow and the fight scenes are incredible. Coming next we have Reincarnation of the Suicidal Battle God. In a world full of chaos because of the Demon Lord, our MC is the last surviving human, who somehow managed to wound the Demon Lord before he died. And when he appeared in heaven, the gods were delighted to inform him that he had humiliated the Demon Lord, so they planned to reincarnate him to see if he could do it again for their own entertainment. But this time our MC is reincarnated with the same power he had when he died and the knowledge he possessed of the future. Next, we have Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. Our MC has been reading a particular manhwa for years and something creepy happens. After reading the last series and waiting for the last chapter, the author thanked him for supporting his work, and he hoped what he had read would be of good to him in the future, and boom. Everything that happened in the manhwa he has been reading comes to reality. Like what? The knowledge the MC now has is crazy, because he is the only one who knows what is going to happen in every event, every plot twist, the arch, and the various situations. He then goes ahead changing the storyline of the world so that he can survive, taking shortcuts to reach his goal. And yeah, though having a different author, the artist of this manhwa is the same as solo leveling. Next, we have Heavenly Demon Instructor. Our MC loses his parents due to the portal impact that just appeared with no warning, but in order to protect his unconscious sibling, he had to suffer as a powerless support, enduring the humiliation and bullying of strong hunters. One day, he couldn't endure the suffering and couldn't pay for his brother's medical expenses. He decided to take his life, as doing so will make the government pay for his brother's medical bill. When he was about to hang himself, he got his awakening and was able to use the power of the strongest person in the Murim, the Heavenly Demon. The MC becomes really opus after following the instructions of his master, the Heavenly Demon. The art style is legit and the storyline is awesome, and unlike the other manhwas, our MC doesn't hide his powers. Next, we have Boundless Necromancer. Though this manhwa is not purely Murim based, the main character's fate is closely tied to Murim world, so it made it on our list. In this manhwa, our main character loses his parents on the day the dungeons and monsters invaded Earth. This brews hatred inside him, and he swears to become a hunter and exterminate the monsters from the face of Earth. 7 years later, he was kicked out of the Hunter's Training Center because of his trashy talent. Even so, he didn't give up. Soon, his unyielding will was acknowledged by the Tower of Trial, and he got teleported inside the tower to train to become strong or die. Inside this tower, the rewards you get are proportional to the difficulty you chose, so he chose Hell difficulty right off the bat. Coming next we have Apex Future Martial Arts, or Login 10,000 Years in the Future. In this manhwa, our MC constantly had the same nightmare where he got chased around by zombies. This made his health deteriorate to a point below a normal human being. And because of that, he was looked down upon by many, as with his health condition he couldn't join the Superhuman Academy. A few days into the final tests, he got annoyed in the midst of the nightmare and killed the zombies chasing him. Suddenly, he inherited the memories and the martial power these zombies had when they were still alive. He later finds out that this is actually a type of system that lets him travel 10,000 years in the future. And this is actually how ruined the world will be in the future. His mission is to learn all the advanced martial arts of the future and prevent the destruction of the world. That's it for our recommendation today. Please subscribe to help me reach 2,000 subscribers. And do not forget to share this video with your friends, as they might be looking for new manhwas to read. Peace out. Was to read.